Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Namaste everyone. So today we will learn the bridge pose. In Sanskrit it's called Setu Bandhasana. So first we will talk about the benefits of this posture. As you know, this is a back bending posture. So it strengthens the back muscles and also the leg muscles because you are using the legs to lift the hips. And it stretches the hip flexor and the back of the neck. And this posture is really good for digestion. It improves the digestion. And also helps to relieve the stress, the strain, and mild depression. So, who should avoid this posture? Those who are suffering from cervical spondylosis. Just avoid. Or you can do as a therapeutic way. I will teach you how to do as a therapeutic those who are suffering from cervical spondylosis. And also women are suffering from the menstruation disorders, PCOD, PCOS. So this posture is really help to relieve these problems. So just let's get started. So first, this is a supine posture. So you have to lie down on the back. Supta means supine or sleeping. It's a Savasana, the base position you can say Shavasana. So your hands beside the hips, palms flatten, and bend the knees, and keeping your heels close to your hips. The alignment of the bridge pose. So listen carefully. So your knee above the ankle and your knee facing towards the toes, towards the second big toe. So make sure you're not turning your feet out. Make sure your toes pointing front. The pinky toe and the outer edge of the heel should be in straight line. So press your feet firmly and lengthen your back of the neck. So chin a little bit closer to the chest. So your back should be flat, your back of the head, neck, spine, your lower back and the sacrum should be flat. So keep pressing your palms and keep pressing your feet. And then lift your hips up. So first we'll do as a warm-up. So we're not getting to the final pose. We are not tucking the shoulder under. And slowly relax your hips down. Inhale, lift your hips up, not too much higher. And then slowly, as you exhale, relax your hips. Inhale, lift your hips, keep pressing your feet. Make sure your knee is not popping out. Make sure your knee, thigh and your hips should be in straight line. As you exhale, down. Inhale, lift your hips up higher. And exhale, relax your hips down. So you'll do continue like 5 or 10 times. After 5 or 10, you have to hold the pose for 5 counts. So inhale, lift your hips up and then stay here. Bring your awareness to your soles, the feet. Observe your soles of the feet, that you're pressing firmly down to the mat. Press your all four corners of your feet and keeping your knee hips width apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you exhale, 5. Slowly relax your hips. So this is as a warm-up. You can practice Setu Bandhasana. So this is the final pose now. Inhale, lift your hips up higher and roll your shoulder back. So tuck your shoulder under. Then you can interlock your fingers. If it's hard to interlock your fingers, you can hands flat, palms flat on mat, and reaching your hands towards the heels, and more lift your hips higher, more push your sacrum. So your legs is a 90-degree angle, your hip, your thigh, and your knee in a straight line, and knee above the ankle. And slowly relax your hips. Again, inhale, lift your hips up, keep pressing your feet. Lift your chest higher, tuck your shoulder under, and more lift your chest. And bring your chest towards the chin. But do not bring your chin toward the chest. When you're bringing your chin toward the chest, that time your neck is not free. So in this position, your neck becomes free. There is no any tension. And slowly come back with control. So this is the way to practice Setu Bandhasana. For beginners, it's the first time who's doing yoga or asana. So when they are lifting the hips, they are dropping the knees out because of lack of awareness. So for that, we will take a modification, the blocks. So make sure you will have 2 blocks. If you have one, that's okay. So if you have one, take block between your knees. When you're holding the block between your knees, you're engaging your inner thigh. You're using your inner thigh. And if you have 2 blocks, 1 block between the feet. So here, the block between the feet, it will remind you to keeping the feet hips width apart. So big toes touching on block and heels slightly out. So heels is not touching, they're slightly out. And hold the block with your knees and press the palms and then lift your hips and then lift your chest. Tuck your shoulder under. So this is a modification. Now we'll talk about as a therapeutic, like those who have asthma. So as a therapy, so in yoga therapy, how we teach Setu Bandhasana. So distance between hands and the heels. So in between there is a 4-finger gap. So you have to measure the distance. If you have partner, so we'll help you. If you don't have, then you have to come up and check. Now I can see, so walk your feet slightly forward. So the heels and the fingers, there is a gap, 4 fingers gap. And press your feet and press your palms. Inhale, lift your hips high. Also you can use block, it will more helpful. And slowly as you exhale, down. You can get to the final position. Inhale, lift your hips, tuck your shoulder under, interlock your fingers, and more lift your chest. For the first, no need to lift up higher. Just stay where you feel comfortable. Okay? And slowly come back. Now those who have neck pain, so simple neck pain, cervical spondylosis, but it if his cervical spine is higher stage, just please avoid, don't practice this posture. And those who have neck pain, maybe for the stiffness of the neck, so you can use the blanket or the folded mat, and you have to place the edge of the shoulder on the edge of the mat here. So here the edge of the mat and the shoulder. Keeping your feet in line, you can use block or without block. And then lift your hips up high. Now my neck is more free than before. So there is a gap when you're using the blanket or the folded mat. So here, those who are suffering from neck pain, maybe of the stiffness of the neck, so it will more helpful when you're using the folded mat. So this is the way. And most important thing is also the counter pose of this Setu Bandhasana. So this is a back bending posture. The counter pose is Muktasana, the wind release pose. So you have to first one by one leg. So bend the right knee, interlace your fingers over, and bring the right knee towards the chest without losing the left leg. Make sure your left leg active. As you inhale, open your chest, lift your chest. And as you exhale, drop your shoulder down and more bring your knee towards the chest. And you will stay here for 5 counts. I will not holding for 5. So after 5, inhale deeply. And as you exhale, lift your head and try to touch your nose to the knee. And do not lean to the one side like this. Okay, so you have to centralize your body. And as you inhale, come back. As you exhale, lift your head, nose to the knee. And inhale, come back. Those who have cervical spondylosis, neck pain, do not lift your head. Exhale, nose to the knee. Inhale, come back. And same thing with the other leg. Knee towards the chest, shoulder descending down, chest ascending upward. Inhale and exhale, nose to the knee. Inhale, come back and exhale, nose to the knee. Those who have neck pain, avoid this nose to the knee action. Inhale, come back and exhale, nose to the knee and come back. Now we will do with both legs. Bend both the knees and hug your knees. Make sure your chakram resting down, so your back should be flat, so there is no round. And here, by leaning left and right, we will give them massage for the back massage. And then so you can lift the head and roll front and back and front. If it's painful or discomfort, if you're feeling discomfort, avoid rolling. No need to just lean left and right. And then slowly relax. And then come out with control. So this is the way to practice Setu Bandhasana. If you like this video, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get all the notifications for upcoming videos. Namaste.